Good morning, dear students. In continuation of last class on topical fluids, so we'll discuss the other aspects of topical fluids. So today we will be seeing the application of APF gel, application of varnish, and self-applied topical fluorides. So acidulated phosphate fluoride was introduced in 1960 by Woodward and his co-workers at Boston, Massachusetts. So preparation of APF gel, an aqueous solution of acidulated phosphate fluoride is prepared by dissolving 20 grams of sodium fluoride in 1 liter of 0.1 phosphoric acid and then 50% hydrofluoric acid added to adjust the pH at 3 and fluoride concentration at 1.23. It is also called Woodward solution as the name of the person who has introduced this particular gel. For the preparation of APF gel, a gelling agent methyl cellulose or hydroxyethyl cellulose is added to solution and pH adjusted between 4 to 5. So coming to the procedure of application of APF, acylated phosphate fluoride. So the patient seated upright position in chair and oral prophylaxis is done and teeth are treated completely. So like the patient is sit in the upright position of the chair. So oral prophylaxis is done. So like yesterday we told, so we discussed. So because any of the calculus or debris which is present, so definitely will has a act as barrier. So the action of the fluoride will not be complete. So before application of any topical fluoride, so it is mandatory to go for prophylaxis and teeth are cleaned completely. Clinical next, followed by clinical application APF gel by tray technique. Disposable from line tray is preferred. And to reduce ingestion of minimal amount of fluid, gel is kept. The patient is told not to swallow gel but to exert slight pressure using the cheeks and tongue as well as light biting in order to cause the gel to flow interproximally. The gel thins out under the biting force because of the thixotropic nature. So APF gel, it is not solution, it is like a gel. So whenever the patient is using tray technique, so the patient should continuously close mouth for 4 to 5 minutes. In this time, whenever the pressure is exerted, the gel will transform to solution and it flow in between the interdental areas where in between two teeth where the action of fluoride can be seen interproximally also. The fluoride gel should be in mouth for 4 minutes and remaining oral fluid should be expectorated. Saliva ejector is used to wipe out saliva and excess fluoride. The patient is instructed not to eat or drink or rinse his mouth for at least 30 minutes. So this is the gel and these are the trays where you can see on the left side, and so where we lower the trays and ask the patient in between so that ask the patient close the mouth continuously for 4 minutes. So whenever the patient is closed mouth completely for 4 minutes, the gel becomes solution and it flows between two teeth interproximally. So the action of fluoride can be seen in all parts of the in all surface of the teeth. So mechanism action. So once APF is applied, initially leads to dehydration and shrinkage of hydroxyapatite crystals. So then DCPD is formed, dicalcium phosphate dihydrate. So highly reactive with fluoride ion. Fluoride penetrate crystals deeply through openings produced by shrinkage and leads to formation of fluorapatite. So the amount of fluorapatite deposited depend on DCPD formation. For conversion of DCPD into fluorapatite, deeper penetration continuous supply of fluoride is required. Hence, APF solution was applied 30-second interval and teeth kept wet for 4 minutes. High fluid concentration and low pH favors fluoride deposition. Acidification of fluid solution with phosphoric acid found to suppress dissolution of enamel as well as formation of calcium fluoride. The intermediate product dicalcium phosphate and principal reaction product calcium fluoride. So what are the advantages of APF gel? So requires only two application in a year and it is biannual and is thus suited for most dental office routines. The gel preparation can be self-applied and the cost of application also gets reduced. It has the ability to deposit fluoride in enamel to a deeper depth than a neutral sodium fluoride or stannous fluoride. Acidulated phosphate fluoride is stable and need not be freshly prepared for each individual. So chemically stable and can be stored for ready use and it will not produce any staining of enamel. So they are available in different flavoring tastes and expected carriage reduction is about 30 to 40%, so better than sodium fluoride and stannous fluoride. Can be recommended for home use by self application. So coming to disadvantages, practical difficulties like teeth should be kept wet for 4 minutes. So repeat application necessitates the use of suction, thereby minimizing its use in the field. This also increase the chair side time, making these methods more expensive, and it is acidic, sour, and bitter in taste. So coming to the comparison of the sodium fluoride, stannous fluoride, and APF gel. So percentage of fluorine is 2% in sodium fluoride, with 8% in stannous fluoride, and 1.23% in APF gel. Fluoride concentration is 9200 ppm. It is 19,500, and it is 12,300. And pH is neutral. Sodium fluoride, stannous fluoride is 2.4 to 2.8, and APF gel is acidic, slightly 3.0. Frequency of application, it is 4 at weekly intervals, like in the age of 3, 7, 11, 13. Biannual stannous fluoride and APF gel is biannual. So adverse effects, so stannous fluoride, tooth pigmentation, and ginger ale irritation, and carriage reduction. You can see sodium fluoride 30%, whereas stannous fluoride 32%, and APF gel is 28%. Coming to vehicles of application fluoride vehicles. So aqueous solution gels, the gel adheres to teeth and eliminates the continuous wetting of enamel surfaces and required when solutions are used. Thixotropic solution, not gels, but have a high viscosity under storage conditions and become fluid under conditions of high stress whenever the patient is kept in occlusion position. Fluoridated prophylactic pastes, if prophylaxis paste containing fluoride are used, the loss fluoride is replenished and there is significant gain in the concentration of fluoride. Foam, developed to minimize the risk of fluoride overdosage as well as to maintain the efficacy of topical fluoride treatment. Advantages, it's lighter than a conventional gel and therefore only a small amount of agent is needed for topical application. The surfactant has cleansing action by lowering surface tension. This facilitates the penetration of material into interproximal areas, and does not require suctioning, so it offers advantages for home use. So coming to the fluoride containing paste, prophylactic paste with fluoride was developed to provide both the cleaning and fluoride application in one step. With an easy single procedure, this can be accomplished and also save the time. This approach has proved to be an acceptable chemostatic method. It consists of 1.23% sodium fluoride, silicone, or sodium metaphosphate. Coming to the fluoride varnish. So after topical fluoride application, there is substantial leaching of absorbed fluoride from surface enamel. To prevent this intermediate loss, fluoride has been incorporated in varnishes that have ability to adhere to enamel for a long period, and is hypothesized that it will slowly release fluoride to the teeth. The retentive and possible slow release of fluoride from these products increase the exposure time of the fluoride by several days without increasing chair side time, and presumably allow fluoride to be more permanently bound to the teeth. So increasing the time of contact between enamel surface and topical fluoride agents favors deposition of fluoride and fluorohydroxyapatite. So types of varnish: Durafert, Fluor Protector, Carex, Cavity Shield. So Durafert, it is a viscous yellow material containing 22,600 ppm fluoride as sodium fluoride in a neutral colophonium base. For Fluor Protector, it is clear polyurethane based product containing 7000 ppm fluoride from difluorosilane. Fluor Protector, it's a clear polyurethane based product containing 7000 fluoride from difluorosilane. It is dispensed in 1 ml ampules, each ampule containing 6.21 milligrams of fluoride. Carex, it has low fluoride concentration than Durafert and has equal efficacy to the Durafert as Care is preventive agent. So these are the fluid application, varnish and Durafert. Varnish application technique. The frequency of varnish application is based on individual case risk and it mainly on semi-annual application. So technique of application of varnish. So water prophylaxis like any other topical fluid application, and isolation of cotton using cotton rolls. Most commercially available varnishes set in the presence of moisture. So meticulous drying of teeth is not critical. Dispense varnish as per manufacturer instructions. 0.5 to 1 ml is more than adequate for entire dentition. Apply using disposable brush or cotton applicator. The entire surface of teeth must be treated. Avoid getting varnish on the soft tissue. The varnish sets in few seconds, leaving fluoride rich layer adjacent to the tooth surface. The entire process take maximum of 3 to 4 minutes. Durafort and Durafloor set to a yellowish brown layer, causing a temporary change in tooth color. When utilizing custom individual fitted trays for patients requiring daily or application of high concentration, like utilize only 5 to 10 drops of products per tray. Care for fluoride carriers trays. So rinse and dry trays thoroughly after each use. Clean them by brushing them with a toothbrush and toothpaste. Occasionally, the trays can be disinfected in solution of sodium hypochlorite and water. Use 1 tablespoon of Clorox in about 1/2 cup of water. Soak them for about 15 minutes. If the trays become covered with hard water deposits, soak them in water in white vinegar overnight and brush them the next day morning. Do not boil the trays or leave in hot car as they may have wrap or melted. So these are the things for the topical application by the professional. So on fluid containing dental materials and devices, caries along the margins or restorations is called secondary recurrent caries. This is more common in case of silver among restorations. Dental researchers have deliberately added fluoride to dental restoration materials, eluting cements and cavity varnishes in order to impart a cure aesthetic property. They have demonstrated that these materials have the ability to impart fluoride to enamel or to reduce the enamel's solubility at the margins of restoration. In turn, might prevent development of secondary caries. So, fissure sealants are effective in preventing occlusal caries as long as they adhere to the tooth surface. The retention of sealants, however, is not definite at all time, and if lost sealant is not replaced, caries can develop. This can be minimized if fluorides are incorporated in the fissure sealants. So there is also accepted concept application of topical fluid to the occlusal surface immediately after placing pit and fissure sealants, and in turn to provide better caries protection to the vulnerable pit and fissures of occlusal surfaces. So this completes the topical fluid application. In next class we will see the self-applied topical fluorides. Thank you.